You're listening to the Sans Pants Network.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Plumbing the Death Star. I'm Jackson.
I'm Joel.
I'm Adam.
And this is a comedy pop culture podcast where we ask the important questions, like, what would your ideal Fallout vault be?
Now, Fallout, pretty sure they're like, we have a bunch of vaults.
Yes.
And that we're going to
Yes.
be giving them to certain corporations to be like, hey, not only can you save humanity, but you can also do whatever you want with them.
You can do whatever you want.
mess
You
them
want to
up.
make some mutants have some mutants.
Oh,
you wanna,
mutants.
You want to have everyone named Gary or Greg or whatever?
Gary.
By all
We can
means.
do
I don't
that,
know if
dude.
that was exactly what happened in that vault.
I made everyone named Gary.
And you are Gary.
the
and
moment you come
shall
into
be-
the vault, they
Uh-huh.
legally change your name to Gary.
Yeah.
What'll happen?
And then it's like, well, we can have a bunch of, like, we'll have like a caste system or we'll have
Yeah.
different political spectrums.
Or we'll
those kind of
only put
things.
musicians in.
Yeah.
Or
Let's
we'll
see
only
what
put...
happens. Poets or whatever.
It's 100. It's 99 guys who love Diet Coke and one guy who loves Coke Zero.
There are like three.
What's gonna happen?
I'm not even joking. There are like 3 vaults that are that.
What?
canonically.
199 guys who like Diet Coke.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There are like 3 different vaults that
Yeah.
are variations on
So-
that exact
So
principle.
yeah, so we basically have, I'm assuming, is what happens to like us who are running the experiments, because presumably it goes on for like many years.
Yes.
We're like frozen or our brains are in a jar that
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can finally see the result of this, right?
I would
Yeah.
hope so. They put my brain in a jar. I'm
So
gonna say.
this part's always a little unclear. there are in the canon control vaults, and
Yeah.
Vault-Tec did set things up where they would survive the blast.
Okay.
But what purpose? Who's going around collecting this information?
Well, is it
it's
the-
a bit hazy.
Is it the idea that in my
Yeah.
control vault, I say to my son, Jackson Jr., Jackson Jr., Daddy loves you. And second of all, you must tell your son.
Joju?
Jaju. You must tell Jaju. That's Jackson
Jaju
Jr.
Bailey.
Jr.
Yeah.
And 100
I
generations.
do not believe in the numerical system. It's juniors all the way down.
Let's get the my final descendant, 100 years, 200, 300 years hence. Jaju.
Yeah.
He will go out into the wasteland and he will find this vault at this location and find out what the fuck happened.
Because I'm a little curious fella.
I
Yeah.
will be long dead, but
Yes.
Most of the plans for Vault-Tec, I think actually exclusively all of the Vault-Tec plans had some mechanical formula where they themselves would be the ones alive.
okay.
Excellent.
So the first one I think we see is they're all brains in jars.
Fabulous.
That's
What a way to go.
fabulous news.
Yeah.
There's some
Okay.
cryo sleep type ones. This is not the question.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, great.
That's okay.
I'm
It's good
okay.
to know.
It's nice that I can actually see the results of my experiment.
Yeah.
So I was having a bit of a think.
Yeah.
I started, for some reason, my mind was drifting to an M. Night Shyamalan film.
Okay.
M. Night
A wonderful little, movie.
Uh-huh.
It's called, you might have heard about it, The Village.
Oh.
The Village.
Okay.
And in the village, I don't know if you know much about it,
Yeah.
but it's an old-timey village. We are a bunch of people. The technology does not exist.
Yeah.
We have to churn our own butter and other
Milk
things.
our own
Milk
cows.
our own cows.
We don't have.
Welcome to Zammit struggles to think of one thing to do on a farm.
I know, right? They got what do they do with that? They got there's a well
Slaughter-
there.
slaughter
maybe?
your own
Make their own clothes.
Make their own
Yes.
clothes. Again, technology does not exist.
Okay.
But the thing that does exist is a boogeyman.
Right.
Yeah.
If they go to the outskirts of the village, why, there is a big spooky monster who may or may not eat you. And we're meant to be scared of this. We set up a watch because, oh no, we're scared of the monster, whatever.
sure, okay.
In the big twist of the village, it reveals that it is actually in the now times.
there's cars.
And there's cars, and there is planes, and the people that started the village, they were like, we hate modern life
Yeah.
with all your woke bullshit.
That
They
is
did
what
say that, yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
We
Modern
miss-
society's become too woke.
modern
I'm gonna live in the
society,
woods.
Yeah,
They
technology.
got rid of Lara Croft's tits. I'm gonna live
Yeah,
in
I
the
don't
woods.
know, man. Technology, you made people too liberal, you
Yeah.
know? With your little
Oh,
machines.
Heimdall's black now? See you fucking
Oh,
later.
it's the
thank
woods
you.
for this
no,
guy.
Thank you. No, thank you. And so they were like, right, let's go to the the woods, and then we're gonna have some kids, and we're gonna tell them shit. We're gonna
Yeah.
tell them absolutely
And
nothing.
they dress up like the monsters.
And then
from
we're gonna
memory.
dress up like the
Yeah,
monsters
and scare 'em.
all right? And so I was thinking, having a bit to think about that. And so I think, what would a lovely little vault be like if we tried to somehow instill the idea of a boogeyman,
Okay.
like a monster, and see how myth developed?
Okay, so
Okay.
is there really a monster in the vault?
I don't know yet.
Well, if you're seeing how myth develops, then there shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Then I guess it's not a myth.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
a real threat to them.
Yeah,
good
you'd
point, good
need,
point. So
you'd
it
need
needs to
someone
be-
going around in a suit or something.
Yeah.
So it needs to be just like either, like, I don't know, it's like a vault, whatever, and then it has to have like, certain things happen either through happenstance or accidental. And like, let's see how like superstition and myth can kind of originate. Maybe we have this whole thing of like, okay, I've seen this in something. Was it
Yeah.
like Darren Brown or another one of those types?
Yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah.
Like,
One of those Darren Brown types.
the guys are like, we're going to do this experiment.
Did you
and
say
this
Dan
kind
or Darren Brown?
of- Darren, the magic boy.
I don't know Darren Brown.
Is it Darren Brown?
Dan Brown wrote the Da Vinci.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wrote the Da Vinci Code.
He's
There's
the
an
Da
English
Vinci.
mentalist, let's say.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yes,
I know
sorry,
the type
I
of
know
guy.
this person.
I think
yes.
he also was in an episode of Sherlock Holmes where one of the inspector's theories was that he was there that was like, Watson, look in my eyes, you're feeling sleepy, shush. And that's what his theory was.
Was that the hypnotist Darren Brown had gotten?
had gotten
Oh, okay.
Watson. As a
Here's
bit-
the thing
a bit
I
of a
remember-
fuck you to the fans, I think.
Oh,
of,
it was Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock. I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. So
People are silly.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing where he was like, right, we're talking about myth and like superstition and all this kind of stuff, and they used pigeons
Okay.
and how pigeons are
Where
superstitious.
is this going?
So there's
but I'm here
experiment.
for the
Okay.
ride.
Are we doing a pigeon vault?
Hold
That's
on.
what I'm hearing.
Maybe I'm sleepy and these are my synapses firing for maybe the last time.
Maybe you're.
I don't know.
We've let him talk pretty uninterrupted this for quite some time.
I'm formulating a plan as I speak, okay?
This is a fun game.
Should you just
know
not
what?
have
Hey,
gone first?
as a not a host of Pumping the Death Star.
Yeah.
This is a fun game. Me and you should play it sometimes. If you let Zammit just run interrupted,
Yeah.
the plan gets crazier and crazier and crazier until we're making the pigeon vault.
Yeah.
All right.
So they used it so I think it's Dare Bear used talks about superstition in other animals.
Okay.
And one of them was about pigeons. And it was this kind of thing where it was like we did this thing where it was like a randomization of like when these pigeons got fed.
Right.
And the pigeons were like, no, it can't be randomization. And it must have been when I turned
Pigeon
like-
patterns.
And yeah, so the pigeon was like, oh, when I turned around and
Yeah.
I got food, that must be
That's
it.
where I
and
get
so the
that.
pigeon started doing
Okay.
the same thing. And so this idea of like proving like I guess do other animals have superstition?
Yeah.
And
Right.
because it's Darren Brown or whatever was like, and also religion.
Yeah.
And so this whole thing about either we need to do this thing where it's like there's this like countdown or whatever, or this big timer that counts down.
Okay.
And there's going to be a bunch of crap in the room, and it's just going to be like when that whatever they're doing in there, and then it's going to count down will hit a certain thing,
And then when
they
it hits zero,
the doors can open or whatever.
Yeah.
And they
and they think
leave,
whenever
right?
it's counting down, that's
and they're doing stuff in the room, and
Yeah.
the numbers change. Like, oh, it must have been because I was doing this thing.
Yeah.
And then like it's revealed
Yeah.
that what it is that there is a fish tank outside, and whenever a certain couple of fish go up and down and cross this sort of like one
That's
thing,
awesome.
Yeah.
it counts down, and also the doors were never locked, so they could have got and they would have gotten a lot more prize money.
Yeah.
I
whatever,
just realized we're
whatever.
not talking about pigeons.
We're not talking about
I know,
pigeons.
We
dude.
stopped talking about
But it
pigeons.
has reminded
did.
me of that
We did.
fish that beat Dark Souls or whatever.
That rules.
Have you seen that fish? Or maybe it was Elden Ring.
I know of this,
He defeated
yeah.
one of the Elden Ring bosses by doing the same thing. He would swim into different quadrants of his tank,
that's
and that would
cool.
make him move. And he beat one of the the Elden Ring
Damn,
bosses.
that's impressive.
What a great fish!
True,
And he don't fucking know,
Yeah.
It's true 1,000 monkeys at 1,000 typewriters hours.
yeah,
That's
true.
what that is.
Yeah. Okay, so what-
So now using that idea in terms of we do need something in terms of like the control,
Right.
i.e. something of complete randomness. Maybe
Yeah.
it's kind of like how it's like how certain tech companies when they have to have like idea of like a completely and utterly random generated
Yeah.
number, and they use like lava lamps and those
Yeah.
kind of
Okay,
things.
sure.
So we do need something of complete randomness as the control thing to do something to make to see how superstition and myth happens. Haven't quite figured
Do you
out
still have
the
a monster?
I infinitely preferred your original pitch of the Vault Overseer wears a big dark cloak sometimes, calls himself the Night Terror.
Yeah.
And they try to... that's... so feasible to me. You just have a vault with some hidden passages and stuff like. I mean, this new one seems nice as well.
Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough.
So
I
are
was
you
just thinking
imagining
in terms of what happens at Myth and Superstition? Okay. We'll go
All
back
right,
with
okay.
the Night Terror. We'll have a vault.
No,
In
we
that
could,
vault,
no,
we'll have
I'm
a bunch
sorry.
of.
Now I feel bad. No, we can do your one.
Adam, I haven't thought of a single thing right now.
Zammit just explained the concept, and that was all he had.
That's all I had.
He had the setup and no payoff.
I honestly thought it would come to me. Yeah.
We can
It has, though. You said
we can
Night
do
Terror
your-
Man.
Yeah.
So I was thinking with Night Terror Man, I was
Yeah.
thinking the vault could have all these hidden passageways and places
Yeah.
that only the Overseer knows about that could allow, you could do all of these cool things where the Night Terror can appear in two places at once, but actually it's just the guy really quickly going between two places.
yeah.
But you could do the same thing. I mean, you could combine that with your other idea as well.
How would you do that?
What other
Well,
idea?
Yeah, Adam, with what he said before, combine the two.
So what I was
When a
kind of
fish,
when I was kind of
a
seeing
pigeon.
what I was kind of seeing you saying
Yeah.
was that there's an idea where you're trying to trick people into thinking, oh, when I walk under this ladder, bird seed comes out of the wall or whatever.
That's true. Well, what
You could do is you
Yes.
could have the same sort of setup where it's all hidden stuff
Yeah,
and it's
okay.
the lava lamp thing. And when the lava lamps are in just the right position, bird seed comes out of the
Or you get
wall
jump
or whatever.
scared by the Night Terror
Sure,
Man.
yeah. You could do a whole mix, and you know what? Honestly, for this experiment, I think you should do a bunch of different
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
So I think you had a great idea, Zammit.
Thank you. All right. So, is there a sweet reward in Fallout vaults where everyone gets, like, say, a little cupcake or something?
Sure, there
could
can
be.
be.
Yeah,
In
some
your vault
vaults
there can be.
Yeah, some vaults are nice.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get like a little little cupcake or something, a tasty, delicious treat or whatever it might be. Or do we make it something vital like medicine?
Okay, so if you
So
you
we
develop
have
a superstition
Yeah.
whereby when you do a certain action you get medicine, but actually it's random.
Yeah, so basically, medicine is accrued at random.
Right.
But to do that, we need to, get them, we put a bunch of stuff
I love
in.
the idea of like a completely half thought out vault where it's like, okay, what's the experiment? You're like, at random they get medicine or kicked in the belly. You're like, what?
Or maybe a cupcake.
What?
How
Do they
can
like
I ask how
cupcakes?
you'd be doing kicking in the belly?
I don't know.
Oh, that was Jackson's
That was
idea,
Jackson.
really.
I
was
can
like-
explain
I
it
was
if you
Please,
like.
please, I'd love to hear.
Panels in the wall of the vault
Yeah.
have secret boots on like sticks or like on a retracted arm that at random come out and oof, kick you in the belly.
Would you feel like, do you feel
Yeah.
a group of people would be like, oh, we're going to develop superstitions? Or do you think it's more likely that they start tearing the walls apart?
Probably
There's
tearing
free
the wall-
boots in
there.
Oh my God.
Tearing
That's
the
really
walls
what I was
The
so
getting
walls
at.
are full of boots.
So many good boots for us.
And then the vault sets up as a boot sales sort of a store for the rest of the wasteland.
The boots that they wear in Fallout,
Yeah.
they look good.
Yeah,
They're
well,
good-looking
good-
boots.
exactly.
I'd go for those boots.
Yeah.
I'd
We
tear
do.
walls apart for those boots.
Yeah, could we do maybe like some sort of video screen overseer type thing?
Yeah.
That's going to be like the big face, like say from like 1984.
Okay.
you know, like a big
Right,
face, big
sure.
brother.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
big face.
Big,
All right.
big
Big
face,
face.
to be like you
So
need
we've got
to
big
please-
face.
What's big face do?
And it's like you need to please me, and then you'll get the cupcake.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So what are you testing?
What does big face want?
It's never quite clear. So people
Okay.
have to make their own like.
What do you
doctrine.
want? No, I'm not telling.
Well, maybe we got to form
Well, no,
like
but I can
a,
imagine maybe
a
big
basic of a religion. you
Yeah,
know?
so
you gotta
big-
do certain things.
Because Big Face could come on the screen and say, I am Big Face.
Yes.
And somebody in the vault has displeased me.
Right.
And then everybody's like, which one of you pissed off Big Face?
Okay.
Yeah.
And why? All right.
And
so
then
And
the
then,
vault-
and then what we do is we can involve Night Terror Man.
For you, Adam.
For you, Adam.
Don't worry.
We
Thank
got you
you.
covered.
Your guy's in.
my
Your
guy's in there,
Your
yeah.
guy, Vault Terror Man.
thank God Night Terror Man is there.
Because then when Night Terror Man can they can go and abduct somebody in the middle.
So
of
Night
the
Terror Man is acting on behalf off of
Big face.
So then, but then people aren't like, oh, Night Terror Man is random. Night Terror Man works.
Well,
for Big Face.
well, again, like it's up to interpretation, right? So it's
Night Terror Man isn't random.
Yeah.
I just feel like
Well,
you're
he is.
giving.
Well, Night Terror Man is random.
Because
Yeah.
this
That's
is
the actual
sequence of
overseer.
events. Big Face says, "Someone in the vault has displeased me,"
Yes.
and then Night Terror
We'll give you
Man
that accent.
abducts
Okay,
somebody
yeah.
at random,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "Must have been Dave."
What
So
did Dave
wait.
do?
What
So-
did Dave do? Then you
But
work backwards
how are people connecting Night Terror Man to Big Face?
because Big Face says someone's displeased me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they will be.
Oh, okay, I got it. Someone has displeased me.
Someone
and
in
then,
the vault has displeased me.
And then there's like
Right,
a timer comes up on screen.
Yeah.
It counts down randomly.
Okay.
And then
When you say it counts down randomly, do you mean 10, 8,
no,
12?
no. It's just like it just counts down.
Okay.
It's like it's not in like
So it just counts. There's no randomness to it. It counts down.
No, but it
counts
counts
down,
down
but
to
it's
a
not in, like-
random point. I know what he means.
It counts down, but it's not like it's not like a day timer or a second timer.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's 10.
Okay, so the
Okay, now it's
right.
9.
Yeah.
3 days go by.
Random
Oh, shit,
increments.
it's-
Yeah,
oh, shit.
random increments,
Yeah,
exactly.
random increments.
Yes. Neither of us knew.
See?
We need an interpreter.
Keeping you guessing.
Yeah.
Does she usually do that interpreting?
No.
Okay, interesting.
Then that's happening, and then so you have to. The idea would be to see what the people would do to try and either stop the timer, because sometimes the timer will just stop.
Yeah.
and
Right.
disappear. And if the ever timer gets to 0, then we'll say within the next week, Night Terror Man comes in and takes somebody.
Okay.
Alright?
Okay.
And then-
so it gets to 0, and then a week later, at least.
Within a week.
Okay,
within the week.
Right.
Within the week. And maybe it just has, okay, it gets to 0, and then it just goes, it's like, you've got 1 week.
Okay. You have for what in a week?
You know? And everyone's like,
1 week for what?
exactly. And then in that week,
Exactly.
and then in that week, maybe or maybe not. It has to be level of randomness, see? Because again, you want to have this idea of people being like, what is going on?
Why are you still going?
No one stopped me.
What I keep.
That's the problem. So then,
Sure. Yeah.
Night Terror Man take.
He takes someone at random.
Okay.
Yeah. Put him
Okay.
in an incinerator. I don't know. Fuck about it.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
rest in
that's-
peace. Yeah,
Rest
sure.
in
Yeah,
peace,
sure.
goodbye. Or they put him in
Goodbye.
a different vault. So I don't care.
A different vote. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's not important.
And then
Cool.
it's just about seeing.
What are you testing
seeing,
in the vault?
Seeing what people will develop in terms of like
I
what they will
think-
do to stop Night Terror Man,
I
what they will do
think
to appease
what they will
Big
do
Face.
to develop is to tear the vault apart looking for Night Terror Man at this
I'm
point.
okay. So I'm confused.
Me too, dude.
Because
Not gonna lie, man.
so Big Face says someone's displeased me, and so this I was imagining.
Okay.
Maybe this is crazy.
Maybe this is what could have happened instead. Let's say.
And then the Night Terror Man takes someone at random, and then everybody is like, "Well, the Night Terror, whoever got taken,
Yeah.
must have been who displeased Big Face.
Good point, yeah.
What did they do?" But I like that you introduced a timer. But no, that doesn't seem connected to what Big Face was saying.
Yeah.
And then someone's taken a week later by the Night Terror.
Feels like you, in your attempt to create an experiment on how people would develop myths, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
is it? Wait, what are you testing?
What?
So is it? Will people develop a myth? How do people develop myths?
Yeah.
What causes people to develop a myth?
Yeah.
He's testing.
Superstition, sorry, not myth.
He's testing.
Was it a myth
What
or
am
a
I
superstition?
Well,
Or superstition.
Adam, here's the problem. Night Terror Man is real.
Yeah, Night Terror Man does exist.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
steals you and incinerates
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
He's real. and he's a threat.
Yeah, he is real.
It's a
isn't he?
threat. So maybe we can't make.
And this is all somehow based on M. Night Shyamalan's The Village.
Okay. So it needs to be okay. We'll strip some. Okay, Night Terror Man can't take somebody, but we need to have this idea.
He
that
can't.
Is he real?
That
though?
would not
So
be
he can't
allowed.
be- He can't be. So maybe it has to be like, can we now include like a West Wing vault, like kind of like a blue
West
blue
Wing is in,
beer,
like,
like
the
you don't go into the
president.
West
Okay,
Wing.
you don't go to the West Wing of the
Okay,
vault,
right.
right?
Or else.
I thought you meant like the president. This vault, you can't go over here. It has the president in it.
That's what we tell people.
Okay.
Right.
And I'm thinking,
So wait, we're telling people it has the
Let's
president?
say
is Big Face, this is me in the vault.
Yeah.
Hey man, do you think Big Face is the president?
I mean, that feels like that's the trope,
Bro,
you know?
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I don't
all
know.
the time.
We got to do something about the Nightman, by the way.
I know, I've been thinking that.
Sorry,
Yeah,
the Night
the
Terror.
Night
I don't know how we know
Terror.
his name.
I've been thinking that too.
Big Face never references him.
We gotta do something about
But
the
it's,
Night Terror,
there's good
man.
Is
so
there a
not-
connection
yeah.
there? Because the timer thing gets to 0,
Yeah.
but that's not when Night Terror attacks.
When the timer gets to 0, nothing happens.
No.
Yeah. Night Terror attacks
yeah.
when it hits 0. Or
Yeah.
maybe he doesn't attack. Or maybe Night Terror Man is just incidental.
Wait, man, are we pigeons?
I feel heaps like a
Do you
pigeon
know if
right
we're
now.
pigeons or not?
Yeah, I feel heaps like a pigeon right now.
So what-
It's crazy
Yeah.
that someone trained pigeons to do something and was like, look, they've developed religion. That's what you did. You
Yeah.
trained a pigeon.
Yeah.
You're an idiot if you think otherwise.
I'm trying to work backwards or sideways. I don't know what I'm doing.
Trying to work sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the vaults, you don't want them to leave the vault? Is that right?
It's up to you.
Sometimes, some vaults you don't want them to leave. Some vaults
Some
you
vaults
do.
you
like
do.
in the village, it's
Yeah.
like they don't want to leave the outskirts
Yeah.
of the village. So it could be like, if you go out of the vault, that's when the big monsters are out there.
Well, it's not so much that they don't want them to leave the village. They don't want them to discover technology. That's kind of their...
Yeah,
the,
true,
the
true,
elders
true, true.
don't want people leaving, basically.
Okay. Okay.
They don't- you can go into the forest. That's fine. Just don't go
Just
too
don't
far.
go
I
too far.
suppose,
Don't
yeah.
hit the National Park Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's this? Okay.
Okay.
What we have? We have.
I don't like Zammit. I
Me
don't
too,
like
me
what's
neither.
going on
It's
right
gonna be
now.
bad, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, Zammit's
What
going
we
to be
got
like a
is-
stroke of inspiration from
yeah.
we don't want them.
Curse and stroke of inspiration.
This is upsetting. We got to stop him. Zammit has hijacked this podcast.
So
Let it
what we
ride.
have is we.
This is not good.
Let it ride.
let him cook, Adam. Cook.
We got to
So-
land
Oh,
this
let
podcast
him
somewhere
cook.
so that
Okay, hang on. Let me think it through. So we have this vault. Okay, and it's like it's old. It's kind of like old timey. Okay.
Okay.
So
Zammit's hair is nuts.
we have this whole timey thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like log cabins and everything.
But it's a vault.
It's a vault.
Okay,
A
sure.
vault.
All right, sure.
We control.
Now it is meant to protect you from a nuclear
yeah, yeah,
blast.
It's a fake sky. I'm about.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Let me finish.
Let me cook. Let him cook.
Yeah, see. So we have it's in the vault. You got this lovely village.
Okay.
And maybe we're replicating it by Charlotte as the village now.
Okay,
And
it
let's
is
just
just
like
a
it's
village.
basically it's a village. You got a bunch of people, and and then there is like you got to be wary of the monsters. You don't go upstairs, etc., etc., etc. Because what we then have
There's an upstairs to the
Yes.
Did
village.
he say you got to be wearing the monster?
no wary of.
Wary of, yeah.
Okay.
So you gotta be
Yeah.
wary of those monsters. You can't go at the outskirts, whatever. Maybe it looks like it's actually we're not in a vault. It looks like we're in a beautiful outdoor environment.
Sure,
Okay.
that's
using big
you don't
screens,
even need to
etc.
do
like that, right?
So long as you're born in the vault, you don't know what the real
Yeah,
sky looks like.
Exactly, right. And so we tell people like the elders or whatever, the overseer is kind of like, there's going to be a monster, kind of parades outside,
Yeah,
at the outskirts, whatever. But if you ever got to those outskirts, there is an entryway to a door, right? You open it up, and then you're in another vault.
Yeah.
But that's like a regular control vault.
So
Yes.
several things. First off, now this is all well and good for like you've been in the vault for 50 years.
Yes.
You grew up. All the elders are like, watch out for the monsters. Scary,
Don't
scary.
leave the village. Yeah.
But the first people to come into
Yeah.
the vault
Yeah.
will have been just people from before the bomb. So what are you doing with the first
Well,
people?
if you have-
B.
yeah.
Why do you keep having an idea and keep going? Your
That's
idea
how
is,
ideas work.
Once you have the idea, you explore the
You
idea.
explore idea, you double down, you keep going.
Maybe you
Okay.
could do it like the first people go in the control vault,
Yes.
and their kids go into the village
Yes.
with somebody from the control vault who raises them and says, I don't know what's
I
on
don't
the
know.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. What is this place?
So funny.
It looks like a real place, and I think there's monsters
Somebody to
nearby.
have the one educator of all of the children in the vault where they're like, hey, what's outside?
Because, like, could you do this with, like, robots?
Yeah.
You could do it with robots, yeah.
Okay.
You could even actually,
Okay.
I
Okay,
suppose
okay.
you could actually
Alright.
self-select.
What we
The
do-
people who sign up for the vault could already, for some reason, want to. Maybe you don't sell it to them as like, I'm doing an M. Night Shyamalan's The Village.
Yes.
But you could be like, hey, this vault is going to be like throwing back to old times past. So if you want to live the way your ancestors
yes,
did,
yes.
okay.
And then
that's
you
a
can
much
give-
better idea of what I thought of. So go on.
Yeah, you can give them the idea to try and help you with your idea. You
Yeah.
can give them, the people going to that vault, the idea of like, oh, hey,
Okay.
your children are going to naturally be curious about the outside world.
Yeah.
So we're giving you the night terror costume, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
scare them into staying.
Yes, good. So I like that.
Yeah.
And also then like is in we have because you have the upper vault as well.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with this.
Okay,
We have the
all right,
upper
we're sticking
vault.
with that.
Upper
Okay.
and lower
And then,
vaults,
and
sure.
then what we do is like if they ever enter the atrium between the vaults, what I want is a video to be played, and then I want to be like, okay, out there, you've been dead this whole time, and when you go into the next vault, there,
What are you saying?
we're gonna do Sixth Sense. We're gonna make a Shyamallan.
Twist, it wasn't the village, it was
Yeah.
Six.
He's doing
Because then-
nesting Shyamalan.
Because then when they go into the next vault, they're gonna think that they've been dead the whole time.
What the fuck could you be
What are
Then-
you saying?
And then I'm thinking.
What is happening?
And then,
So they're like,
Yeah.
fuck the Night Terror man.
Yeah.
What's out there?
Yeah.
They get to the atrium, a
Yeah,
video
yeah, yeah.
plays.
And
You
so-
are dead.
you've been dead
You've
the
been
whole
dead the
time.
whole time.
Your
the whole
ghosts.
time.
Your ghosts.
Okay.
And
And then when they get into the next vault, they're like, hey, fellow
and then
ghosts.
and then that's gonna be, and then like but your sweet reward of heaven is in the next room.
Yeah. They go to the next room.
Let's make that. What was the movie where they're all trapped in an elevator and they think there's a devil?
It was
The
devil.
devil.
Just devil? Oh, that's
Okay.
easy. So then we think it's that one. How do we make
But-
it the devil?
I think I'm a ghost. I actually don't know what's going on. I turn right back around and I'm like, let the monster take me. I fucking hate my fault. Okay.
Yeah. What
Can
do
I
we have
ask-
here?
can I ask
nesting,
what
nesting Shyamalans.
The
What
nesting
is the
Shyamalan
purpose?
vault
What are you learning?
about M. Night Shyamalan's movies in the most direct and immersive way. Once you go through all of them, you arrive just at the edge where the big
Yeah.
door is, and there's a DVD box set.
Yeah, yeah,
And they're like,
yeah. Oh, yeah,
you've
yeah,
lived
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
Now watch them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, we get to watch. Signs.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Uh-huh.
We have a
M. Night-
signs vault.
M. Night Shyamalan,
Yeah.
before the bombs dropped, went to Joel Zammit and he said, I got a lot of money. I want to make a vault where people live my movies.
Yeah.
And Joel Zammit said, hey,
I got you
Buddy?
covered, fam.
don't even worry about it.
We've already built.
Allow me.
Construction's underway. We've already broke ground.
Yeah, because you could combine like the village with signs a bit.
Yeah, you could have
It'd be so funny for that to happen and for M. Night Shyamalan to be like, what movies? And you're like, oh, The Village, The Sixth Sense, and Devil. And he's like, oh.
Signs.
yeah.
I was hoping you do glass.
Yeah.
like,
Oh no.
Yeah, I was really kind of
What about
hoping...
the beach that makes you old?
Oh,
Old. They get out the
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like,
oh, you're proposing
you're
more.
old
Okay.
now. And no.
Oh, I got that one.
Okay.
So when they say that you're dead, and they
Yeah.
go, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they walk to the
So,
next vault.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or into a room, and you got mirrors where they can see themselves, but they're
Right.
old.
Oh,
so they
I'm not
think
only am I
that's-
dead, I'm an old ghost.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, this would be my vault, cause we gotta escape. We gotta claw our way out. Of
Please,
the,
yes, thank you.
Shyamalan.
It can't. The entire episode can't be this.
So
It just
I
can't.
Don't test me.
No. It just can't.
I
It just
need a lot
can't.
of space for my vault.
Okay.
What's
too,
that?
dude.
I need a lot of space.
Oh, you're not going out of space.
No,
you
no.
need a lot of space.
Like a gigantic cavern.
Sure,
Yes,
yeah,
done.
fuck,
Done.
whatever.
And everybody gets a self-sustaining room where they can press a button and get food. They got a toilet for pissing.
Okay.
And I'll get families or whatever. Just think, it doesn't matter. Whoever
Okay.
comes to my vault, and all of the rooms are together. At first, we close the door in the vault, and then all of the rooms separate. So they are hovering somehow in the sky, and you can
Suspended.
see each other, but you can't get to each other.
In just like a void.
In a void. So you're in a
That would
house
require
in a
a lot of
void.
space.
Yes.
You see someone, you can look, and all glass windows on all sides.
Okay.
And everybody else has glass windows on all sides. And you
Okay.
can look and see to your left, there's another family. To your right, there's another. Behind you, another family. Below you, another. Glass floors and ceiling. Below you, another family. Above you, another family. And you can talk to each other, but you can never physically get to one
How
another.
can you? So by phone, I'm guessing.
No, you just yell.
Oh, okay.
You're close enough to be heard audibly, but not close enough
What
to
is
jump.
preventing people from eventually over time figuring out how to transition, making like a network of bed mattresses? And
Inbreeding.
Yeah. Oh, inbreeding.
how's that?
Oh no. Okay.
That's how that's
We have
Why are you
dispensers.
always doing this?
We have dispensers also. There's one button that says
Little
food.
cum
Yeah, and one
dispensers.
button that says fresh cum. And that's just to keep the bloodlines.
Where are you getting the
go.
cum from?
We-
So is there a third
No,
a third
you
one
gotta
that's
be like a milking, a coming.
Yeah,
and you gotta
yeah.
do that. You
That's
know?
true. So somebody else milks
make
them.
sure you know
How
which
do you
milk
know?
you're doing.
Yeah, but how are they all connected?
I've instituted a system of pneumatic tubes that you
Yeah.
can see as you watch from your suspended
Why
house
are they-
as the cum flies around.
So Jackson, you and your partner,
Yeah.
and maybe any, whatever family you've come here with,
Yeah.
you're trapped in one of these cubes.
Okay.
And you know that for the rest of your life, this is it.
I'm in the cube.
You will die in this cube.
Yeah.
Live by the cube, die by the cube.
Makes sense
Any
to me.
future generations will be born, live, and die in this cube.
Yeah, baby.
Why are you having kids?
Well,
Yeah,
you're
good point,
Any child you bring will suffer.
maybe at random I'll have two of the cubes connect and then disconnect as they fly around this void.
Okay, so sometimes there is transitioning. Now, what's to stop the people from preventing them from disconnecting? Like, how are they not? How are you preventing them from fucking with your?
Or
system?
they once they connect, they kind of either just like latch them all on, or
Yeah.
they all go into one cube.
Those idiots. If they go into one cube, there's not enough room in one cube. And I'll have snipers positioned around the void.
Okay, I could imagine like a robot sniper. Sure.
No, that's another vault. That's a control vault. They're all trained snipers.
This is good.
And
I like this.
they are ready to see if anybody's trying to fraternize or connect the cubes.
Okay.
And what are you trying to find out?
What would happen?
What?
What would go down?
That's a good answer. Why was I getting the third degree?
What would go down if we did this?
No, Zammit, you can't be like, that is a good answer. Adam, why didn't you? I don't think it's a good answer. I think this is insanity.
What would happen if we made this vault? That's my question.
There's no...
the question I put to you.
Yes.
What would happen?
I assume they'd fight back.
Yeah,
That is presumably what's
probably
going to
fight
happen.
back, or if they would die out within the Jat generation. Also, when a medical emergency happens.
When a magical emergency happens.
What? Sorry, Jack. When a what happens?
When a medical emergency occurs.
Yeah.
Everybody would have a robot in their house, like a surgeon robot. And that would probably, that would probably help with
Autodoc
birds
or
and
whatever.
stuff.
Yeah,
They have autodocs. Yeah.
They have those. They have those autodocs.
So if
This
you have
is the only solution thus far that you have been able to solve with in-universe things.
Maybe if they try and clamp together, their rooms get further apart. And if somebody does if they transgress, say, we can move them further away from the main cluster.
But then how do you know?
How do I know what?
They said that if they try to clamp together.
I'm watching the snipers. They relay it to me.
Okay, so you're alive.
I'm there. I'm both.
He's a big face.
Well,
Yeah.
but Jackson, why are you fighting this? This is what you are trying to find out. What would happen?
Yeah.
This is what...
Because if they transgress, that's
it's
part
like
of the
doing
result.
the pigeon experiment. It's like, can pigeons learn religion?
Yeah.
And then when they start doing little circles to make the feed happen, shooting them because they're doing little. Oh, wait a fucking minute! They're trying to game the
What's that?
system.
That's not what's meant to happen. Well, then they can clamp together. That's fine. If we're just letting the experiment run,
Yes.
I'll kill all of the snipers. Okay, fine.
You didn't need
just
this.
me left.
Why?
Watching.
Adam said
You're
to
not
kill the
killing
snipers.
Jackson, you're not killing the snipers. You're killing some people. They've not been the snipers yet.
Adam said we have to kill the snipers, so we have
Hey,
to kill
snipers,
the snipers.
can you come into my office? I got some real bad news. Adam, A friend. He's a friend.
You
of
know,
mine.
Adam.
He's like my friend. He's
Next vault over.
He's
He's the overseer of the next vault over.
I tried to reason with him, but he said no.
He says I'm not actually doing an experiment or something, so I have to kill you guys. I'm sorry.
This is, you know,
I'm real sorry.
with your last
guys.
breath, if you want to curse Adam,
Yeah, that's
completely
okay.
fine.
Okay, well then I'll let it run free, and they can clamp together and make a kind of floating cube city if they so desire.
Nice little flotilla. That's
Yeah,
nice.
that's all right. That's
Okay.
allowed. You know,
So, as the overseer, where are you? What are you doing? How are you viewing this?
I'm above.
Wait a minute. So they're all above and below each other as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do they? Why? What's stopping them from just going up and down?
I suppose nothing. Well, they're far enough apart that if they tried to jump, they would probably die.
No. Not jump, you maniac. What if they climbed down whatever's connecting them?
Because what? You were like they're just hovering.
Well, maybe they do have little anti-gravity things on them that are keeping them afloat.
Anti-gravity?
Yeah.
Where's that technology coming from?
Or little jets, little engines.
Oh, that are constantly powered?
yeah, little fans that are keeping
that are
them
constantly powered. Because if you have anti-grav things, and then like, if say for example, I want to break out, I get
Yeah.
climb through my window, I take the anti-grav. Now my like cube, because I'm assuming there was like at least 4.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's like a little bit tilted. But now it's I have it, so I can control it.
Yeah.
And then trying to move around this void and go visit other people.
Well, let's say it's fans then. Like a big fan on the bottom that's keeping it afloat.
Jack,
Or balloons!
very quickly.
Let's explore this balloon idea.
No, very quickly, I want to go back to the fan thing. So, you've got the box. Now, show me where the fan goes.
Under here.
Okay.
In the bottom
now,
of the
Jackson,
of the fan.
we have a machine that uses this technology currently.
What machine?
Where does the fan go?
Underneath.
Yeah.
That's not. We have a machine. It's a flying machine of sorts.
Like some kind of helicopter. I
yeah.
wanna say.
Where does the fan go?
Oh, the fan goes in.
That's right.
No, you misunderstand.
Do I just?
The fan pushes the air down. I would actually probably have a fan on top and on bottom. It pushes it down and up.
So
You
keep-
must be joking. The fan pushes the air down.
No, you idiot. You need a fan on every single face so it stays in one
Stays
position.
stable.
You must be joking.
Stays stable.
Yeah. So we
You
have
also-
6 fans all going off at once. It's loud.
I know. I said you could
This
yell to
must-
each other over the void.
You
This
cannot.
must be a joke. Also, did you know that if you do that, the box will slowly rotate?
That's okay.
Sorry, not slowly. Do you remember that video of that woman being airlifted that one time? That's how fast it'll
I
rotate.
guess that'll get in the way of the cum tubes too.
Oh, yeah. What if we
I hadn't
were
even
just
thought about that's right, how you're
suspended?
feeding, watering, and
Yeah.
cumming these people.
Yeah. How are we feeding water in cupping
Well,
these
okay.
people?
Maybe they are held aloft by
That's what the snipers could do. They could fire.
What about
could
another
shoot
by
food.
syringes of cum, food, and water.
Yeah. What about another wonderful film? It's not by Shyamalan.
we know.
It's called.
We escaped this.
It's called The Cube.
We were
The
free.
cube. Oh yeah, the
It's called
cube.
The Cube. And so, in the cube, there's a big cube, and in that cube, there's many other little cubes. And
Okay.
each one of those rooms has something going on. And at random, it seems like it's at random, but it's
Yeah.
actually to do with like prime numbers. Maybe I can incorporate prime numbers in my experiments.
We were free.
Anyway, so when it's to do with the prime numbers, or the prime numbers were safe. I forget. I haven't seen the cube in a long time.
I've never
anyway,
been in the
Hypercube,
cube.
they introduced an element of time, and Brian Cox, I think, he eats himself and steals his own watch many times. So what do you want to do?
That's awesome.
I know, it's so cool.
That's so
why don't you have a big
Zammit
cube?
looks full on crazy.
Yeah.
Have a big cube, and then in each of those you have other little cubes, and then they kind of move around.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, sure, you got Gary as your
Your
Marge
neighbor,
as
and
your
you-
neighbor one day, and then the next day, oh wow, it's Betty and Veronica
Okay.
from Archie.
Archie comics. Okay. Sweet. Nice.
That's not allowed. You can't reference Archie to get Jackson on side.
And Jughead's there. And Moose.
And if you want a
And
milkshake,
Reggie.
you can have all the
Pop
milkshakes you
Steiner's
want.
there. Nice. Sweet.
So then then it moves at random or at a designated like pattern that you want, and so then that way, that you have to have a lot of people. 'Cause
Yeah.
you never know who
you're gonna meet next.
Yeah.
I like it. I think
Yeah.
it's a good idea. Great way to make friends.
Good way to make friends, or like fair weather friends maybe.
Yeah.
Or
Sad
fleeting
to make a
friends.
friend and then they get taken by the cube. You never see
Or
him
like
again.
you go visit your neighbor's house and then suddenly goodbye your house.
Yeah, that's true.
And
you
your
live with
husband
your neighbor
and,
now. Yeah.
and your kids maybe. Yeah.
What about go back to your idea, Adam? What if it's a vault where we convince everyone
Which idea? The
they
Night
are
Terror Man?
pigeons?
Oh, Adam's pigeon
Oh,
idea.
my
Adam's
pigeon idea.
pigeon
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Okay. So
How are we
reflective-
convincing people that they are
All
pigeons?
right, we're using my old technology with the mirrors. Every reflective thing, we
Yeah.
will make sure that it will like show a pigeon.
It shows a pigeon when they look in a mirror. The first people who come in, we have to brainwash into thinking they're pigeons.
Yeah.
And that their children will also be pigeons.
We
What
feed them
happens?
bird seed.
What
Yeah.
happens when
Bird
two
seed.
people stand in front of one mirror?
Well, no, because it's AI. It's
Yeah, okay.
showing you as
Yeah,
pigeons.
no,
so
it's-
they see pigeons there.
Imagine-
they look at each other and they're like, "We're human."
Yeah.
But that's saying pigeon.
That is
That's-
me as a pigeon.
Yeah.
That is what. Yeah, this is the question I'm
yeah,
asking.
Yeah. Well, who are you going to believe? Your lying eyes or the truth-telling mirror? And then what
you
we do?
see both with your
And then
eyes.
what we do in the mirror, we're like, "You're a pigeon." Flashes up on screen.
We develop a drug, okay? A medicine
Ah,
that
yes.
makes you believe and see yourself and others as pigeons. We call it pigeonol. And we say it's
That's
also...
internally, but
Could
we
you-
tell everyone it's Panadol.
Yeah.
Or good
Could
for
you
you
do?
all.
Could you do a thing where if we wanted to follow my pigeon theory?
Yes.
here, could you do? You'd need 2 vaults. I
Okay.
think you'd need a setup. You need the. I wouldn't call it the control, but like the command vault where they're in on it. 'Cause
Okay.
You need. And I think this is a problem that all of us, with my problems as well.
Okay.
My problems keep experiencing this issue as well. We're kind of relying on people to just go with it.
Yes.
And we need someone to be there to push people to, go with
enforce
it.
the-
Yeah,
So 2
like
vaults.
these snipers.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 vaults.
Okay.
So 1 vault is the people who are in on it. The other vault is the test subject.
Okay.
Now, the first people who come in would be difficult, but I guess if we invent brainwashing technology,
Yeah.
we can do this. What you do is the people from the other vault, it's kind of like their day job. They put
Okay.
on a pigeon costume. They go into the other vault. They're the teachers. They're the
okay.
firefighters.
Okay.
You're doing all of the high-tech sort of jobs or whatever,
yeah,
the
yeah.
overseer and whatnot. And then every generation of people that comes along, they're like, hey, you are pigeons, but you look fucked up.
Okay. You're a sick pigeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We live
What?
in the vault where all of the healthy pigeons live.
You're the sick pigeon.
I was
Yeah.
thinking, in a similar vein, what if you get that one, like the control group people, they're the teachers, the fire
Yeah.
people, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What if you're like, your experiment, and again, it's hard to be like, we've got to
Okay,
go
we're
with
going to
but-
start lying to these people.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
The
all right.
experiment here is like, what if you were like the other vault, you treated them as if they were pigeons?
That is kind of what I just said.
Yeah.
okay.
But no, you're not dressing up or anything. But like you address them
Okay.
always as so like you go down there and you're like, well, who's a pretty birdie?
Yeah.
And then you
Right.
fill up some seed and that kind of stuff. Then you leave and they're like, why do they keep thinking we're pigeons?
Yeah.
And when they look in the mirrors, they see themselves as like pigeons.
As a
Right,
pigeon.
okay.
They look back and they're like,
They're like,
we're
but
not
you don't look like a
pigeons."
pigeon to me.
And I understand. And then people come in again and you're like, who's a pretty birdie?
Yeah, you are pigeons.
Are you
You are
giving
pigeons.
these people, because bird seed, I don't know
Yes.
if
It hasn't
that's
quite the
yeah.
nutritional
So
value.
these people also need presumably clothes,
Yeah.
and things to live. Are
Well,
you just
Yes,
clo-
but all the clothes are pigeon costumes.
A pigeon costume or feathers.
Yeah, or feathers.
okay?
They're made
all
from
right.
feathers.
Realistic pigeon costumes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make your dream come to life. Adam.
Yeah, no,
We're trying
thank
to-
you.
we're doing our
Thank
best.
you for helping me out.
Could you
on
also
this.
another vault idea?
I was so scared that we were going to be lying. I don't know why. Yeah, no. I was so scared that we were going to be lying to the command vault.
Yeah.
And then we would need to create another command vault of people who can do the job
Yeah.
or lie to the.
Yeah,
okay.
I was
Yeah,
scared
no,
of
they-
nesting command vaults,
Yeah.
basically.
You're just like, you got to tell these other people over here they are pigeons.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
then- and treat them as if they were bees.
What- Convince them
so
they're pigeons.
I suppose what we'd be getting out of this, because this is my idea, and
Yeah.
I need to explain what we're getting out of this.
Yes,
I was
Adam?
curious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
suppose
yeah.
for a vault of tricking people into thinking they're pigeons with pigeon costumes and
Yeah.
whatnot is belief powerful enough to help you fly?
Ah.
And then we can have like some sort of cliff face
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
where they
interesting.
can jump off and try and fly.
Okay.
We don't push them to do anything.
But it's just like, it's there.
But if it's
yeah,
there.
it's just there.
If
I
they
was-
reach a point where they believe
Yeah.
enough that they are a pigeon,
Yeah.
that they
I
attempt
was-
flight.
I feel like some people might eventually be like, am I?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then
And
might-
try and fly and
I was
die
thinking to
immediately.
add more
Yeah.
story to yours.
Yeah.
Because I think this could be fun.
Yeah, to my idea,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What if we had like some of them were pigeons, and then like we convinced them pigeons, and we have another group that were like in the same thing.
Yeah.
and we
In the same vault.
the same
Okay,
vault,
yeah.
and like some of them we are like, oh, you guys are pigeons, but
Yeah.
others were like, you guys are crows,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then we can see if some of them, like a Romeo and Juliet story, will develop, and maybe a pigeon will fall in love with a crow. And to see if human connections like love can transcend birds.
I think that it sounds quite a bit like you've become convinced they are pigeons. And I think that's fabulous.
Chromeo and Pidgeot.
Yeah. I always wonder.
I think that's
they're
quite clever.
convinced.
I'm quite amused with that. Thank you very much.
And this is why we work together
Yeah.
and make an amazing
This,
vault.
yeah, this is how we work together
And make
on
an
my
incredible
idea of a
vault.
pigeon
I
vault.
was wondering, and this is maybe more like.
I forget, is the crow idea mine as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure.
And this is
Cool.
another one of your ideas. And this is maybe more like a like a prank
Yeah.
than a vault.
I feel a lot
This
of
entire thing feels kind of like a prank on me, but yeah, go on.
Go on.
And so the idea is we get the vault inhabitants.
Yes.
And we, over
I'm there.
generations,
Yeah.
convince them they are gigantic.
This is good.
So we
So
have.
slowly shrinking items are introduced.
Yes, exactly. And we're like, you're huge to the point where the vault that they live in is like the size of a city, simulated to the
Right.
best of our ability, or a landscape, and they have become convinced they are these giants.
Once again, you're asking for a lot of room.
Yeah.
Vault-Tec HQ was very mad at how much real estate. Jackson,
Yes?
did you know how many vaults we could put in the space of your one
But
vault?
What?
the prank, bro.
Yeah.
Also, your sniper request seems insane to
What
me.
if we flipped it?
Okay.
We make them think they're little.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I feel like there's the same amount of space.
Yeah, you're kind of doing the same thing, just in reverse.
But then anyway, once we have fully convinced these people that they are either titans
Yeah.
or that they are minuscule, we open the vault.
I was thinking this.
And they're like,
I love
what
this.
the fuck? I'm normal size?
No, what the fuck? The world got big.
I guess the world grew with me? What the hell?
I think that could have been an actual vault.
Yes!
All right.
Especially if you're doing because the actual vault, when
Yeah.
they're working as intended, the only control vault we've seen
Yeah.
opened after 20 years. That was
Okay.
how long they were supposed to.
Yeah.
If you were making the vault for the actual purpose, it's 20 years.
All right.
And that is less than a lifetime. So those same people could have come out.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't have been like, wow, the world got big. They would have been like, they tricked.
Why would they do that? I thought I was huge. I'm just normal
But yeah,
size.
that's just like long enough. Basically, yeah, that's long enough for them to have
Become
remembered.
convinced. Yeah.
To have remembered what it was
you,
like.
Could you do it so you don't have to, the whole space issue?
Yeah.
You just make it like slightly smaller than normal.
Oh, okay.
So that
Right.
it's like only say, like it's like 3/4 of the size.
Yeah, okay. So like a can is like a big can.
Yeah, it's
I
like
think-
a little big or a little smaller.
Yeah.
I think the problem with that is
Yeah.
now if I put in front of you a can that was 3/4 the size of this,
Yeah.
you would not immediately be like, I got big.
Well, I know, right?
that's right.
And so that's the thing. Like
You'd
do
be
it,
like, that's a small can.
Yeah. But it's like everything is in proportion except for you, and then
Yeah.
the whole you open the vault, and like everything is just normal size.
Yeah.
I just feels like maybe it's a similar kind of vibe that we're
Yeah,
pranking
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
But like you're not using
It's a
as much
subtle,
space.
it's a more insidious prank too, because you come out and you be like, how big am I? You know what I mean?
Right.
Do you have any vault ideas, Adam, that aren't pigeon based?
I really don't,
Yeah,
actually.
we're just
Oh,
curious.
fair
It'd
enough.
be like,
I think I did
what would
once
you have?
have
Well,
one
yeah, if you have
long
another
ago.
idea, do you have an idea, Adam? That's
God,
it?
do I have to?
It's not pigeon based or like about being tiny and then
Or involving movies?
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah.
when we first started this,
Yeah.
my idea was like, oh, what if we had someone in virtual reality.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you step in, and in Fallout 4, for example,
Yeah.
they do a thing where they're like, hey, you got to do just a quick test, and then after the test, we'll let you into the vault proper. But
Yeah.
the test is you get frozen for 200 years.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not
Fabulous.
actually a
A
test.
good prank.
Yeah. Good
We do
stuff.
a similar thing, but instead of getting frozen, you get put into a simulation.
Yeah.
So the visor comes down. They're like, we're testing your eyes or whatever. The visor comes down, and the simulation begins. You're not getting out of the pod.
Yep.
You're just being shown you getting out of the pod. And then maybe we do that as like a 20-year one, and then you live your 20 years in the vault, and then at the end of the 20 years, we open you up, and we're like, all right, what did living in virtual reality do to a human being?
Okay. Kind of like, isn't that a vault?
There is a vault where you are in virtual.
Okay, but it's not a virtual reality vault.
Yeah, that's
It's a vault where you go to like a little town, yeah?
Yeah, so that is the equivalent of Operation Paperclip in the Fallout universe.
Okay.
There is a German scientist, I think his name is something von Braun or whatever, and he was one of the lead designers on the vaults.
Yeah.
Vault-Tec were like, and what would you, and we're making...
What's your vault?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what vault would you like to live out the rest of the apocalypse in? And he's like, I want a vault to torture people in.
Okay.
And so his isn't really an experiment. He just wanted to torture people.
Can we?
Mine is an experiment, similarly based on, but actually the people come out eventually.
Yeah.
And then we just see what being in virtual reality did
Could
to
you do a thing where you? And this is kind of torture.
So you kind of make the Matrix, right?
Yeah.
A bit, yeah. I kind of want to see what happens. Yeah, I guess I want to see what happens when you really do the Matrix.
Does time? Can you fuck with time with virtual reality?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So could you do a thing where they go in?
Well, in the Fallout universe, I think so. With what we've been doing, whatever.
Okay.
We're
so,
making
I
pigeon
mean,
vaults.
if you talk about like in terms of the Matrix, like they fuck with time all the
Fabulous.
time.
Yeah.
So what you do is you go, we're just testing your eyes, motherfucker. They put. They
Are
go,
you a doctor?
Yeah.
go,
We're testing your eyes.
what?
Shush.
And then the eyes are on, and it's too late. And then
Goodbye.
we make them live out birth to death.
Yeah.
And then when they take them off, no time has passed.
Yeah. Can we?
And they're like, and we're like, motherfucker, it didn't work. I'm just gonna put these back in your fucking eyes.
yep.
Another life.
See what happens. So I was thinking, so what are they experiencing? Are they like, experiencing like a virtuality of like, say for example, living in the vault?
I would say living in the vault, yeah.
Because I was like, could we?
But you could do whatever,
Maybe
yeah.
to be like, we're just going to
Please,
test
like with the
motherfucker,
pigeon
we're gonna
thing.
test your eyes. We put them on, and then they blink, and they open up, but they're a cow in a field.
I mean, you
That's
could do
for
a
20
bunch.
years. See what happens.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
maybe you could combine all three ideas where it's like, they put the thing in, you live life to death in a minute or a moment, whatever.
Yeah.
You take it off. Jackson, Dr. Bailey, you're still there. You're like, oh, sorry, it didn't fucking work.
Put them down.
You're a cow now, life to
Now,
death.
life to death.
I'm like, hey,
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well,
Put it down.
bitch,
You're
you're
living.
fucking it up somehow.
Oh my god.
This is your fault.
What the fuck? Put it back in. They live out all M. Night Shyamalan's The Village.
Yeah.
Birth to death. They take it off.
You're an old lady. You live out just a day in her life. She slips down the stairs, falls, dies.
What are you doing, my dude?
You're fucking it up somehow, you
What?
stupid motherfucker. You're wrecking the fucking experiment.
This is different to what I was saying. It's becoming more in line, though, with what we've been doing so far. Yeah.
Why are you ruining this
You're
for
wrecking
me?
the fucking
Oh my
experiment,
god.
cunt.
What
You
is the
dumb
experiment?
bitch, piece of shit.
Experiment? See you later.
You close it down.
This was an eye test. Goodbye.
They live from birth to death if they were little.
Yeah.
Live from birth to death if they were
They
a
were
boy.
gigantic. And then, in the end, and once that's done, we're like, okay, everything seems all good. Welcome to the vault.
That's
Welcome
what
to
the
the vault.
Matrix should have been.
And then-
honestly.
And then they go, and you're free to go. And then we show them the door, they leave, and they live their whole life in the wasteland. They die, they open it up, they're like, well done, all
do
right.
the wasteland like a couple times. Make
Yeah.
them unsure.
Yeah.
Wasteland a couple times, living in the vault like normal couple times.
Oh, yeah.
And then when we finally take it off, it's just a regular vault with nothing wrong with it.
At all.
But every single person in there
Has
is
done what we
insane. We have driven them all to, they can no longer trust their reality.
I guess the test could be how long until you go insane.
Yeah, that's true.
Or to see what happens when given the how many levels of like virtual reality until you start showing levels of psychosis.
Yeah.
What about this? What about the test is, it's like you see those ads on porn sites that's like, bet you can't come.
Yeah.
See if we can find a game that you have to come to.
That's the only way out.
See, the only way out is you have to
You have to come. Come to escape. Come to escape. Okay.
Come escape room.
I think these are great ideas.
Yeah, and we combine that one with your floaty thing. That's
Yeah.
how they get the tubes.
Oh,
It works
perfect.
out.
It's a perfect system.
Perfect system.
Fucking hell.
I think Fallout.
I'm sorry, I feel like I dominated this. We did like 3 of my ideas.
I know.
Yeah.
No, that's okay, dude. You were the guest.
Yeah.
You were the guest, so of course we did your ideas.
Yeah,
you know?
we did
Me and
our-
Zammit are happy to take a back seat.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you can creatively stretch your legs. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why, but I feel like I gotta go outside and scream.
Well, we'll
Not
we'll
sure what
wrap,
that's
we'll
about.
wrap
Let's get
up
this-
so you can do that.
Thank you.
Well, on that note, I've been Jackson Bailey.
I've been Charles Zammit.
I've been Adam.
See you in the wasteland, pal. Hey, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Plumbing the Death Star. I'm Jackson.
I'm Adam. What?
Well, no, I was mad at both of you. Somebody should have jumped
Well,
in quicker.
I always go say.
Oh, he
Start
does
from the
always.
start.
Yeah.
Whatever, do it again anyway.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Plumbing the Death Star. I'm Jackson. You motherfucker. Zammit, you go, because he's not going to do it.
Okay.
I'm the guest.
He's got a good point.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
fair enough.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to...